Nana for you so much.
Yenyo Gamma.
Afishapa.
From Kovati.
Yehu wa chebokodi.
Yamela Dumboko.
Yedanyamiasi. Minister.
Yes, Papa.
Apume.
Adumni humobo.
Oh, adumni humobre ya o. Ene ni abi ene di abedru nne. Yedanyamiasi no adaje. I say last week near her na yen sanka. Eja, ye no hihye na yemum. Yakose no. Because into with a chopara. Na me kan bedwom no bi ate say
we the change na baba.
Say with the yan ya photo a. Ye ko share boni ye ko share boboni. Ani entimi ani so into with the a chopara so the beche. But ye da so say wasanya ho adaje. Na you started in komo be a fast school kon ho adesua ho sem ne ade. Na interestingly, and then show newspapers be brea. I say school consem mu pa. Last week Minister Baha near be din komo onya ho adaje e be church ni man be bre especially about school placement ne STEM program aye ne so adi hunu ministry ne nemum. And the papers be brave, me di kind Daily Statesman or say IGP Lord's Ministry, Education Ministry for Reforms. IGP Lord's Education Minister for Reforms and no independent. Find that say Dr. Ejuchum touts progress of new education reforms. Osha inform Accra the say as I'm from education reforms Ghana stands tall. 7 countries tap into gains made and no ewaha. Eti Niamano Edoson Chronicle Education is undergoing massive transformation, says Educhum. Ghanaian Observer and so I observe it. Waha. Government making giant strides in education, Sector Minister. New Crusading Guide Ewaha Anopay. We are making giant strides in the education reformation in the country. Deputy Minister, Adiana Moye. Yama kwa basubio Edasi.
Rakwame.
Yes, Auntie.
Miss me was.
That's it.
Let me cheer the phone
Yeah, Joso.
And one someone war online.
I'm so man is a Caribbean Cabeomede.
If I want it.
Yo.
Nansana me kosono. A better Ghana embassy. Ghana mission a war techie as say. A woman send the year sanka ye di okra a bebe fino. To me, I'm fam.
Debbie.
And so ye be before Nipponi free mukra. Ye GDH and say body no so ye still essential.
Yeah.
Copy me see a bepenny crabia a ye. And unti a mission a war techie.
Francisca Nene Bushian
for. Yeah, May Francisca.
H.E. Francisca Ashite Odonton. Thank you.
Dawasi. I will rua. General, when him say last week, my friend officer be Ghana mission. Me call her until I won't get.
Oh, take you.
Oh, me call her earlier this year.
Earlier, okay.
My friend, upon us, you had your bocons, yet the end now. Me no case crab baby. Ye hope to see a be who ye knew a chuno, a honor, embassy phone in a rescue mission. Ye walk. That's just say, one ya another, cop me say. And ye hope to sank a be who power pra. Na so ne nyame ye na ye ebio ebusuano so ye be chichi won wire nyame nyamfom so wo de ya enti e ma won kusepa titiri ne twin sister no me kuma awuye na oyata
okay
na wo hwese na ta no ono kura wanyi 61
no say enkoyi
o ye devastated na
asa ne fan bi ayera
bi catch atwunu aba ne se ni nuanum nya so won kafra na emum the twin sister ne de on kafra pa na ne yegidi se yehu onyankopon se otopun mu a obie ne eso sen ne watom no enti nyame humobo ani na doye no enkora busua no adofo ne aboafo nyina akopem se ye bekora ye nua no ye se kire nyina be ye jojo
amen
rakame makane se ye wie no education die na ye education any my bebrebe me chance en fifem ya ye curriculum foforo ama basic school for na wo muse bibia chance no ya na challenges wo mu die na curriculum we die curriculum ebedane ana edane niemani na ne a me straight teacher for ne say them ebetumi abase ahokyere kakra na esi nto cause wo kyerɛ wade tisiri ya na ya kyerɛ de akyɛ ade no kra wutirim dada methodology obe use wutirim dada ane objectives nyina what throw the so wutirim dada na fe yekofa different way of teaching aba mpenin se mre dane ya na odane hu bi enti curriculum we na enye highly examination centered anya se term bia kwala ye exam ye bi o ye exam enti akwala no adwe nyina ne se odi baba no new curriculum no one enye teacher centered people's or students and because children centered
eno na nchechemu ye den
na chese curriculum no ni ehia nyina ye sen na bofra ne beti ase sen na bofra ne betumi dia ye adwuma sen na bofra ne bekọ nanim kind de na ye teacher ni lesson no se di teacher na kire se o kire ya bofra no enya impact ben won so abofra no hu ana we hu no eno na ye ntai fanye dwunu nyina na teacher ni aye say but you say de ya bofra and it will be a classroom to cry make a when it here for so ko school na classroom arrangement na ntisa be say teacher de say den say abofra bia necessarily onti obi achi won say kan de row 1 na ne odi kan na to me no obi atiti obi achi say no ntisa say no ye de mofra no abom say bia table ni nkonwa 4 na yaka bom in a circular form and ase in rectangular send ebe classroom space no ebe bu bia na eno no teacher no demonstration kakra na oji mofra ni nyina view abofra kra waka kire kakra no most often than not no ye encourage peer teaching teacher na kire wade na wie na nipa na wo group no mu no bia ba ko ti ase na mo ba ko nso ati ase pa nti be ma mre kakra na ni nua na dwen level te sane de na akire mu akire no na demonstrations bebre nsu wo ho teacher no lead na observe bebre sane obetumi hu sa bofra we de wo ka so ndro bibia ontumi ndro na mo ka sa on di baba na ne wo chesesi ano on san twro ne wo kan ni nyina engu ho de wano nsikro obetro na wo bu akwala at that level with career guidance. That just say encourage you say on program bia ana course bia o nanim no would draw ebe hanadwen ebio your assessment ye at this level no ye nya assessment for class 1 ye assessment for class 2 ye nya assessment for class 3 ye assessment for class 4 ye nya assessment for class 5 ye assessment for class 6 now project classes no teachers on the on den Sabofra no last year entered to class 4 this year class 2 die na wie eno kire say class 2 results ni nyina babontin pa sabofra no say class 3 in the class 3 teacher no be hwɛ results ni detailed na we hu say adwo say wa ne mass ye pa na ne brofo de enyenyenyenyenyenye enti no form 3 class 3 no sort of remedial o polish baby ye week no na wa encourage no baby ahoden wo mu no na ye koyenim na ansat class 2 for de na ba ye publish ye de but won say Ghana mofra no won kota no gina ho yie ana enkota na improve drastically and so brofo no egusu wo fam kakra enti no na just a class 3 teacher be o Ghana public school no owo anase Ghana high school at afie de ma private school for nso trobi enti teacher ni bia o chade o class 3 no method is also a charge to keep I have na so de kese pa ni se obehwe se mofra no ebetumi akan brofo ati ase asanso atworo yie se abofra tworo brofo a enya de watworo no nko a abofra ne handwriting no eye huhuhu honyan no ontumi kura mark ni yie o kan kura so ontumi ntese se ntworo no enye enu nti no resource na aba na ye mathematics sane ye pese we moving towards term no nyame adom ase no eyeye fi se mofra no ya de e won konta no pa ne mo babrofo no de na ye bibie wo ho eno na asemo minister nkan so de beto ye nyina adwendwen ho mofra no ye mfa local language nkoso nkyere won ade ana say yam fa brofo nkyere won
So dey mo sure say a good idea. Ebi ka say eno na de pa ebi say enye.
Interestingly, resource na ba in class 2. My friend na ko private school na ya di brofo kyere won ade afi KG1 no. Won brofo no ya ade pa.
Okay.
And na yen a your public school na ya di ya say L1 na kyere say kasa wuti ye di kan
Local language
so
one.
ma me kasa brofo say mother tongue minim ho ayanka fa na ka mother e bia mother dey otire no from the word
They say o madam dey o titare ne sa.
eno no ye ga dia no kyere ya de no ya brofo no class 2 no na wo fam pa enti asam ne say your mother tongue dia tiefo mesre o we dia me kasa say owofo any teacher ni my for minister me mu asa e be say wurum say mother tongue dia eye ma me na wo kire wo ba no twi kasa na na say igbe kasa no e wo fie na ne ehunu say awofo ni nyina me nim say prestigio say adieyon obi pe ne baka brofo wo fie na edu school dia na opeso kasa na ye nkire bofra ne kasa but is a mother tongue enti eye ma me adwuma enti e besre se me sa brede me kasa so teacher ni owofo ye besre awofo ne se ye nyiri ye ho nkire ye ma no ye kasa no wo fie ne sa de teacher for no so enso be hu se brofo no ye won adwuma na chama je no bi okra awofo no brofo ne ma me ka no obubu se genje ode ne ba ne ka no obubu se genjenje asem ni enti ye besre se mother tongue dia we debate e course na meti hu kakra.
Okay.
Private school for now one day brofo chirem kwala na de no even though most of them could trained qualified teachers. One did very well at English no than the ye school na for now no ye the local language no nefe ebia ne brofo nketinketi afra no one ya de crashing ye public school for no enu ntia no de ye food for thought. I may be right, I may be wrong, but talking as a parent and a teacher, no. Chama General, you're right, but
I like that. So when you say you're right,
if you say, "Uchrabo Friday, oh, that's about foreign in local language now." For before to be convinced, said the Ochan Watia say no, or better translate your say tree, but like a tree, and who say what tears into all the question manual about foreign about trolling, I want one casa send your tears here. But about found in the L1 bia. And then I catch kasa bia with fee ho. Ya kasa different from brofo ya this exam ya. So chena dear we na or see on tiasia. And I say or produce answer now kasa men penny ma chrawona anti translate my one. I say miss you. Me brofo go am to you. So I can't translate it any other language. Almost na for na handicap. And to tell me, or do your own words now no go swara the mouth. But so tia or translate into other casa or no tia any L1 na. And can tell me obis and such question biano. What tia or brofo no other near but ne casa a little tin no say or trobio or baby essence or tia in both or all the languages in tino about frasano or tro or answer questions or mere bebre. Enti no near pese ye kan say ba mathematics ye yesterday media e mofra no amaye hu say intervention in new curriculum no aboa yem bebre ne mombrofo no na akakakra eno kra na che say esansa class 3 no ye remedial class in no ese teacher for na kire class 3 this academic year no ehwe mofra no resource in detail na wan boa maye hu baby abofra bia wo symptom. Chama General, how Ghana ha? Kese anase Africa baby brain say. Yeah, did one manual and you person did handle all instruments that we have. Betai kapa and say semi kra me Samsung. Na Chama General ukra iPhone. Na ochina obi to iPhone mamia. Me to me nka say oh sending you na your phone ti me de nimdia me wo Samsung manual and we operate iPhone. I may get it wrong to a very large extent. And so ye pese mo friend nyina ye pepepe teacher for ye how no awo for ye how no community no so ye how no na baby awo for kra to sini say e bia ne first born no very smart and now ye do but second born no ye the opposite after see e dey ni oya ade no in one e didn't twa ni wo weakness one other area no and ntia say ye ma mofra no entumi develop won ho as they are both a teacher ni abofra no a o che na de a o mre no wate ase no and the teacher hoahoa no bebre fi se o ma ne mre enti no person de sa abofra na standard kwesi ata enya woni adwo mansanya na o classroom a na kwesi ate ase na adwo ante ase new curriculum na makwan sa eno de kwesi ate ase adwo ante ase so when you at table who in a circular form and a rectangular form no with the demonstration I do have my friend leading no but who now be picking a different form. That is the new curriculum for you. I said and no sabo friend won't see a teacher known to me and quite the fufro or the beja about fufro in the group to take them through. So your fee primary school now say ya so JHS curriculum so are you ready? Ho anhyehyɛ ye nyina ekoso yi a ye rule se beye na ye kire primary school no eno na ye beto aso wo JHS na ya to aso nso SHS a ye curriculum ho adwuma si e for me TVET nso a se ye competency based training na chese enye se ne ye wo ase ho na nye babadie bebre honya ya bofra no tete but ni abofo ni tumi ye ene baby o de befa ene ekwan papa e de befa so ama bofra no ni onim ye no ye appreciate ni wakọ nanim eno sa no ye sanso agi ni ebroni friend pro learning etum ye fa ne say o ye home economics na o ma me etu brodo a obi enim say brodo to de unim dada enti other areas of food and nutrition no ho ane be stress but yanka say nyina ye sua brodo 20 woni brodo 2 kra betu bi odi ano na ye be develop on because we prior learning advantage one area or the other na ne nyina ye de aye adwuma ye no so free ho a enam free SHS no ene ho hyehyɛ ya horo a ya yenti eboa mamofra bi a anka kan no waya ade pa ne se wodu JHS2 na wogyae aden na meka JHS2 minya advantage nyame adoma me yedwuma hakra o Ministry of Gender na Ministry of Gender ne yehu wo ho ne se ebusua na ho kire bebre wo mu na yema won lip no abofra ne be ko school obere ne ho akọ school feeding so wo ho into beto aso akọ nanso odu JHS3 pa ana JHS2 third term no wo je school no wo je nyina akire se onya sika ne ma me nya sika entua registration fee emma no enti abofra ne start fee class 1 your money leap and into onya school uniform onya intervention kakra because say if you do an ebusua no ahochiri bebre wo mu no obedu JHS3 no onya sika entua registration fee ntina wo jai school na mra na leap for adwempie ho se be ne den na president na Kokrokoo do by 2017 and o say BEC no ebetua registration na ban fa BEC ne registration no eninti mofra na won nimde nanso ankohia ebeye won stumbling block no ohia ebe tu amona kese won enimu a won to mean cross to SHS no sa esanse aban yitua BC registration fee obi say ani nyina yitua BC registration fee say be na bofra anka owo dachi kama nanso onye sikentua BC registration ti obejai school no yetua ni nyina nti ama bofra no ama yenya smooth bridge bia amofra no anka won ebeka ekire enam say on to me ntua registration wa ba SHS ni bi no won nyina ye exam no ama yehu obia ability ne capability eni nti no won anka kan ye gyan wo yenya onyina wo kire eye sanso na chese edom wo yedi won ye adwuma na doso chama general
yes
unya wo mofra 200 now we see we near ye more say if 25% the number is low but so nyamofra 1,000 5,000 10,000 now still our crowd for 25% your numbers are high and into no human resource development ye di ko yenim na di adanda ye ho na di adanda your man no sabre akosru bebre if you say a kwan kese abeto ho amaye enti mofra no bebre no be pass BC no if you say ye ntwo bi enya registration no ye stumbling block na free ho na fe ya ba SS no
oh na ya confusion no bebre so sa no
SS no so free SHS adama yeguso ye o because free SHS no dan me say go because sabre kura aduane no kura nye o be ka aduane enya sem aduane kura nye kura chama general a relative enna abofra de na ko school ya man aduane di imprensa o de fa ne se pe u fie standard na nye ba pa ye nyina standard no ye pa so bi o ho a ne wo fra ne se nye no bi o ko fie anka onye bi chama general maka wa ha afie ye mu owura bi a owie bi pon SHS ono de nya free SHS anka onye ontumi nko school bi fisa ahokyere pa wo fie
enti na mo se mo nye review bia no
oh review ye be yo ye nya odi ene bra kwa me anya mo no na beka
mate odi enti abi pon SHS do so
of course school no wo green track but sabrant no wan kofie da se green fo makwan na yellow fo beba no akosre senior house master say opano cho morning tennis school no tennis school ben jiran kanya me sabrant ni nya 8 ones
wow
just tennis school throughout no say okofia oni obi akra mo na aduane di just say house man enti ohun school hu faso eno nti no ase nyina bomubua ama school no mu nhihye no yie ne etoso bio chema general ne wo Ghana ha then the 3 northern regions asabre 5
northern regions
now 5 regions of the north yes I want to be back on say 5 regions of the north sector of the country
yeah
sabre no na ye won kwa no won wo some form of scholarship but you know Ghana ha 2013 2014 2015 2016 na you to me to school no be 2 months na one tifie na one a wo south ha won ya won tua won school fees na won you go school and senti sabre say your man mu na nyina na free SHS na mpo aduane bi aho atochima kakra me nyi ni se send ye to me kano basa twi free SHS no wanwe mu no we be fair with the system if you say regions kakra bi na we by 1/3 of the country now aniama to me gin semwa ma won ko fie kwotene fie 2 months but where there ye gusu ye dandan no ye te se baby atochima ne di mirika kohwe nipa ho ade ye ni atochima wo ho na quickly na ya amend enti ye gusu ye emra mofra no so egusuwa pass ko won anim na bra kwa made ba ko ede afie ni se afie mofra won pass BC any vacancy said that second cycle institutions mo no second cycle no vacancy se wo no eso eboro so chin won a won qualify BC na chese educational infrastructure adan ahuru osi eni nkonwa ne empa no aba ye ho adwuma bebre enti all things being equal no esisa bofre bia o pass maths and English enya school eko na ekwanso wo hose won benya school akọ except that mempeha no I don't know yeah you be say menye school near placement kran for nan to baby akra no chairman general
yes
or kwanso be self placement as many times as the individual wishes.
Obisi Mimisa Asemba Kuto. Now, please ask the Deputy Minister if it is true that the current BEC is being phased out. If yes, what will be the criteria for entering secondary school? BEC, you betrim, and I trim.
Yeah, develop the curriculum. No. Too many adwenkyerɛ bebree da pon so a yɛn si ba ku bia so dua de na mom adwenkyerɛ ne bebree ɛno nso abɛka adwenkyerɛ horo a aba no ho
sɛ BEC ni yɛntwam
emra yɛyɛ curriculum no but yɛn si bibia so pɔ sɛ yɛbɛtwie twam anaa yɛntwam ɛka adwenkyerɛ a aba no ho adwenkyerɛ no gyina sɛ sɛnea BC resource ba ɔde ɔhaw no ɔyɛne bepɛ ha mempɛ ha ne ade no ɛbɛtom no ɛna adwenkyerɛ no baako nso sɛ yɛanyɛ no nso a ɛde na ɛbɛma yɛde akɔ school A anaa school B enti nkasa ho no egu so a ɛkɔ so as of now.
Professor Safa Beka, Professor Yentwam. Are they?
It doesn't make sense. Now, who the B certificate compared to Juma and Azar?
You don't have an opportunity.
Okay.
They are abolishing this class system of
Prof, until they have power.
Now, come in charge in the airport. I'm on track. Now, and also
The life air truncated.
Prof sɛ bɛsi adwenkyerɛ bebree ɛkɔ so enti ma wodi odi no wo kwenkyerɛ ma yɛkin kom
But Prof, into your twam a yɛbɛyɛ dan ne akɔse na minister ka school A school B no.
I don't know what school.
Me pa kyerɛ sɛ enti
I can't say.
me wɔ JHS. Man tro so hwɛ me dem akɔ SHS.
Oh, Kwame. There are areas and nations
US
at that level, primary level. Oh, my crown chance. No, the level here. Over to me if you access. My thinking is that, and maybe I don't need to the examination, the focus on the examinations, right from primary primary 1 up to JHS. And I'm probably your home myself or throw exams. Right from yeah, as I call it. What we won't and crabby again depressed. I crabby your home myself on Yadi, right from primary 1, primary 2. Yes, we went. In fact, if you crowd 3-4 years, see when exams.
I bet any team self-fulfilling
so
purpose.
this competition enters into them right from the outset, and it breaks them. My our thinking is that Kwame, from primary school up to JHS 3, as I say, you have preparatory stage. And yes, I would be in such a sonny must be brave. Say, why, Yadia, as sonny must swap. A bit to me, actually, I run a more than you see, examination or education ultimately, must not tell a child that you are not good. It must tell a child that you are good here. Ultimately, that's what education does. A child can say, we are good, but our goodness are papa or a woman. What do you know more than our? Until a bit to me, a child can dear, obey to me a year. A be an Indian technical education, a be an Indian vocational, a be an Indian a jababaya. Could it be? A be an Indian different altogether. Me, my catcher, Mr. Tessa, JHS at 1986. Maybe in Nambisa, me say, until when will Ghana stop these changes in education and stick with one? Because me go school. When say me a carpentry.
Okay, yeah.
Me a carpentry. Me a blacksmithing. Me agriculture. JHSO. Me a technical drawing. Me a technical skills. Me a music. Me a literature. JHS. The experimentation is too much. And they be an you say massive. I'm just reading massive. The problem is that the massive, we never sustain any of the changes I hear. Just say I say they grow on the things. You buy our massive. Me go school. Now, Obana me try me do a pa I am a dove stage to buy one. But along the way, baby a coy a kind of say because a G2s a free Cuba a buy. Now o share 2 pa na come friend say they are practicals. O ko hona the using an anvil bobo ade so. Now the try the way very interesting. Meaning sewing still. Open things meaning after now. Not just say Bribian Koye in the way they manage education system. At that time, now head the Indian ASM, you per se, are crowned by JHS. Now, when scale any area, the competence war. Until all cost secondary school, they will free JHS beko activity equi. No call. The obeko we no call. The obeko no call. We still could not. Come in. Yeah, at the point you do secondary school. and you 2 years in a go. And maybe you 2 years science student, me a physics teacher, and I had to switch in secondary school Form 2. And I'm reading art because now art, I'm reading literature, history, and government because I'm teacher for. So a science student, I'm here 2 years, me switch here. Just imagine. And the air can say, media come your educational system. Say, yes, you two and a movie. Our area beer. As I see who said, and I'm more you two. A number 1, a boy. Number 2, and I'm more a boy, your mano dache. Because I am, and I'm tell you, this is about 1986. Well, and it's a Miami, me met a brilliant man, Kwame, I went to Yanko. Some just
fell by the way.
There was a guy, your GHS. Or your men can say, you can't be a English master as a winner, or you poor. But Kwame, say, what day, a fellow say, a bat Sibia, send you Dianima, make us commission how to raise a bed. Let me grow cabbage. Let you see in a mission of GHS. The guy excel because no need agriculture. So, a brantian say, an educational, it means discriminating ye say, a crane, yan fan and fat agriculture. Any other coy can they be a gunner, poultry, any in one way, a be a corner down. But along the way, because they'll be out, when you English, when you maths, when you wow, he amounted to nothing. And the education ultimately no, is not to compare you to me, is to compare me with myself and my own abilities. And the eme to me aye no, she say obe to me aboa me to me aye. Na yes say, osafo ye good kwame ye better than. It's completely wrong.
We're different
now
people.
competition now you setting over the period no, and boy it's not helping our children. And the, I'm hoping some maybe na metie minister pa, the amount about a free basic school no, very fantastic. It's reminiscing me of some of the things are not those days no. Come and have vestiges in all of this in those days.
Yeah.
Because me Jesus no. Now I'm spending a lot of time in the classroom. A lot of things we learn outside. And na teacher nchade ka krebi pa. Na wejama school for. Na ye na or supervise no make a comment. Sa. But omo bon say eko. Shum. Ye jam. Now ofofraba. Ozo ye massive nothing happens. Share you be kwame. Me this na means can say this current way about a people driven. What that would mean is say teacher you know ebema and arrangement in the schools class. I say dia a honey in atia maybe people 1, madam people 2, people 3 come come 4. And or into the zoo when you here na enkrano ankasa elidi ade no. It's a fantastic way of learning.
Peer learning.
Yes, in fact, peer learning agency. Korano, it me explore on one day or the only part I am not too sure. The people-led mentorship. What that means is that say teacher no, we are na me yadia me jamiama.
Nana for you.
Say I'm not sure about because me who be one house we know. Because enkra at that stage they are so playful. Agro and person could agro.
And then supervision in rem.
Yes, and your honor me call baby me call school be and chibia me mudi. Nana me ko ya de bi me bi wo. Na enkra na nkwa na esua de. Ebia majoma mo bi ase ro ni awata na. Ana mo ro le. Aha. Nti na my a bit confused kakra. Nti me bisa nipa me say I don't say teacher no. I cannot hear she. No, would you go on the phone? So that's why I got a bit. Now, yes, you continue.
Supervision be anyhow.
Oh, yeah, the phone also. Yes, nurse, John, continue. It me down for a while, and I may call the other room. Teacher, and I teach back. No, so I had a new curriculum, and I say, oh, why? No, so a child-driven. And the weakness of movie I see when they say some teachers
become disinterested.
Or they check the phone. And I'm saying, oh, that's interesting. And you're bad, but what it simply means that the teacher can be very unengaged.
Yeah.
And you're bad. So the process na other way other nation it's good. Say a boakra no Emma Crano explore over the years. No, teacher for Naima a lead exploration. No bro come. Hey, or bro sa nyambrema his aquano be always slow. I was a slower. I have been a victim when I was growing up. Until I speak on education with victim with a lot of passion power. Because of bro, when you try man say we are slow, but you pick it up. And me who says I will never one can. But one teacher for have a lot of time. What is happening by your day? How are we going to make sure say it must supervision no? That's one of my biggest challenges of what I saw. Then the second one here, the peer-led support. To be honest with you, and also in your bad, and you're bad at all, because me do class 6. Now me teacher, it me from Beijing. Emma, I did Matthias. I think I was a slow learner.
Yeah.
But me years wa, me to me a child. And my teacher in class 5 told me I'll be a teacher. So frame me. Now my coach anymore. Now me match last year. Now the entire no year say the children use their own language, their own understanding and concept to explain it to their own peers. And to what I sent them. And a second no, it sways the teacher from the anger-driven teaching style. Was a teacher child now?
Why anything?
I said, you don't know. What do you know? Your peer will not do that.
No.
The peers near a bit patient.
Because or you tipping.
That's the point. And I will bet me up one coffee. I can't change. And to say, I know credit to me, and crying be up boy teaching. So yeah, a bit boama. Wow, when you good no. And to me,
but Prof, how about that? Na minister can you home come say you have mother tongue in Chadian.
Make me now.
Okay.
So I have a whole issue on that way. Now, minister or Nantana Timuka Krano.
But answer that problem. Minister, answer that problem. Obisime Kancho say never enya aggregate 17. You're catching it on your self placement. Why yet 5 minutes ago there's no vacancy in any school in Accra for boarding or day.
I see.
Yeah, how no. What's your banner per boarding? What's your Accra? Then Accra. What's your brie here? What fence and women here? What for Casua here? What for Tamaheya? What say Accra? I know na ma yenya how bebre no. If we said na say amofra and ya wofo nyina ye very busy ntino. Awofo no kura ne ba ne school na ye day a. How ne kase ne say. Me fifia no pa no nsia ne fa. Me ba fie nwumre no nwotwe. Abrafo ne pon school oye dien me hu. Enti se kwan wo ho se me ba ne be ko boarding dia. Ane mesrem ma ne boarding ma me. Nanya once a month makohwe ni progress. Oh yes self close me pa kran ko a. Anu ni how no. Mesra wo fo se. Aya boarding na nkola ne bebre na wo fo ne bebre pe. Enti say ya boarding na wo hwehwe dia. Free Accra. O de wo mpachiri. Ai, fa bi po no so. Kwame, me no be a course wo.
You be po no so.
Say be for tem ha ko fa dan ho no mo no. So ga kope area ho en wa kase schools bebre wo ho. Keta area ho schools bebre wo ho.
But also pe day school po nya day.
Say nyina ya Accra centered. I don't know how no. There's no day school in Accra.
Well, according to your audit in Krana Bremen.
Your placement ma obi ewo Kwabenya community school na nyema. Ebi a day no so no baby or tininti no was there no hold down to schools kitu ebi cause schools ni nyema.
Well, Prof. Yes.
On share the sama me.
We dey many minister ya adwen. Ya na ofon ya adwen do. We create problems too much. And the moment kwame you need resources as other countries have. And the ani bi ho no ma I was saying so ya just kakra. Ya na ma ministry bre. Nti we men na ya adwen pa. Kwame nti ma membra marathon.
I mean kasemba ko so be fa day ama oba For car more than 2 for the boarding.
Yes.
Colana be
The danger.
and can you more car back? And to ocean a route, no, and your car back na a deal bonnet co school, dear. Masro.
Just a befaka no akusino asanfa.
Oh,
Come
I'm
on,
going
you,
to colony line.
Motor traffic accident, quite organized.
And your best stress. Young Shania flexible, Kakra.
It's not good.
My incoying.
Come on, say some of the schools to be around the country. No, if you do, or some of my choir, a mope car at the man too, at the moba, a be young baby or a cry, no, my fro. In Canada, Crano, a chichana, or Marco Fakabi, or my say some mercy. Any idea? I mean, it's not even good, say, a crowd school now. Kwame, I was so commute to Quatente. Far no, I see no far. Anything I talk can happen. And Alfonso, I am what by now. So I don't know.
Mother tongue.
Mother tongue. Yay, mother tongue. Mother tongue. What kind of tongue na ijau?
Tongue.
Tongue no. Kwame.
Prof.
This whole area, in fact, we are Ghana. It's an African challenge. This is the heritage of colonialism. Now we've struggled with this for a long time here. African government be a big joy. I mean, Oko Japan, I then it is in this year. Oko China, among God's peace. Yamukas na this year. Japan, Mukasa this year. Oko Nkura Kasiakas and Nordic countries, no, among those Nkura. A whole nations like inclined to do any better, but they use their language and they're very proud of it. They are the same. Unfortunately, Yamboy and develop your language is a one. Obi, Bruni Bifi, maybe not Oka, Obu of you, or Bob from Nassau Duma. In our hair, a boy Bruni. No, dear. Baby Ninko come from Bakunum Philly, eh, near son. I feel you.
Is it not because baby Abu Bono, Ubia and colonize your mintia?
Okwame, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Say you colonize your crown as a colonization. And you know, Sanka, it may pick it. Yaka me pick it, develop your casa.
Prof, one question. Ediani Yakasa.
Oh, Kwame.
When you say attempt and name Ebianca Titeno, Sena Professor Jikumeka Bejimibre, but say attempt here the Casa Bakwa. The any ever.
Oh, Kwame, I don't believe this. You see, sometimes you resist some challenges via. We haven't tried it, but we are sure. We are sure. You can try, you know. Make us say free SHC. Yes, it has its challenges, but I think it's a very good policy. And to me, yeah. Say yeah. It's still sad there were some challenges, but you go so I think that Kwame, you will cast out who be brave or Ghana, and you want collection of like maybe you go. When we say go Janika Ekakasa, mete kakra.
Yeah.
Mete we kakra nkonya kakra. Mete ewutu ifutu kakra. Aprede mete kakra. Wofka ekane say edukrum ne dewu mete kakra. So what are you talking about? Yawo kasa say see etwa. Na say o twi kura sa what twi ya eke. O kokusua e different o.
Yeah.
I was say uhunu na alphabet nyina na nti you see sua na yesi be say de gwan kasa. Oh, baby,
but another thing is senior Udi kind ye kasa na bia ye develop am quite chiri bebre. For example, obi to science lab test tube ye kan twi kasa mo say
no come me ba ho I won nyamatra enti me
test tube be kan
come me nyamatra me ba ho they ten say the heritage of colonialism.
Yeah,
ebra amrofo fi hakoye. This sense of elitism say yeni kaborofo yeni akosku abuchire ye mad yo teborofo no sita she ene che
meaning says what is asem say we equate proficiency in English to intelligence. Just say obi oti brofo bi e ani nim so yeso enim nyansa and our being
na no ne brofo de ene enti no be can say we began looking down
Peace
on
FM.
And first, so denigrating of your own language. I want to say, Kwame, language is a major cultural form. Obia, ombu nikasa ebia ombu amamre. That's an interesting thing. If you say, you look down on a language we were automatically looking down on our culture.
Mhm.
And any one. Number two, this whole area of developing the language. It's a science. You must develop it. And kasa no na say radio kwa na ba ya etumi radio for mo country or radio so say P7 say no bo pa man crofo ehun how to express certain concept in tree me nim enti say unya offer language na e fe obe develop language no structures ne the ebema obetumi express a concept language is quite complex enti test tube molecules atoms ne nyina obenya na sa atom no ka na atom yakora say yakọ enim enti be boro bia wura mu wo hwe other languages a amo boro wura mu sa na say they don't have the concept enti ebi atom no question ko English mu
na say question ko ye kasa
na kasa
but esan say na yare na empanyinfo professor side the late professor side no empanyinfo bi ya na abedane accepted it is a condition no malnutrition bibi your friend question ko even at WHO level question ko your friend
I'm kind of question ko enti ye betumi kwame ye betumi anya bre e develop sa kase if you no free wa sa elitism yi egusu opa in fact you shame mete abetimu akwa na se no maduro no wo de hwe na no ne kasa brofo no kra e de keke na sa na me nyina ogusu yes na me ya o ga sa oba no ogosu na oba o say
but don't forget say Ghana your official language English
I didn't see anything
say baby abedru ni
the point is this if your official language is English now he say akra no betwa now be a part of the international global discourse and you oba no to me nkan okrom kasa you have no business. What do you mean, Gasa? If you say, Ope say Obano a part of our international community, say Akrano be to me, Akasa, Akanekasa, and the Akranos are on te Nikromukasa, come here, you be my parent. Most parents don't bother saying about Entega, and now about NT3, and now about entering dialect. They are all persons here and say, Nebano bet me a compete in the global schemes of whatever endeavor they are in there. Into the Kasa, all Canada, and Panongra. Look, maybe Sapi and Bina say, Obazena, or can't be room Casa of the coin. And as someone got him and say, I'll say, because it's undeveloped. And listen, logically, the all can answer. I'll say it's undeveloped. And to be able to see me, Chrome Casa, now I was say, compete or Yuka, or the Sagas or Gojan anymore.
But see, as who can fear or Betty or the UK.
Say, if we are teaching our children in our own language, then they can appreciate concepts. We don't teach them in our language. Science na channel, do we teach them in Ghana? No, we don't teach in Ghana. With mass na channel, we don't teach in Tree. And see, me say, you're in local language in there. Until say I to say, you bet some of this core subjects, English, science, math. Your local language parents be anywhere back say nebano o miana won say obeche ni gampa te ase obeche how to manage yourself, sustain your conversations and other interactions.
Is it not too late now?
No, say ye pese ye de ye kasa du share kasa nyina ye subject nyina de akwa say whole business. It's a whole business. I will say share the trans near you. Otherwise, maybe suggestion is that and Kwanusia Omokasa be old school. Said the minister a call on parents, many they are. Yema menum, yem papadum, womo enche yemano Omokasa no Montulinka. At least Omokasa.
Prof, how about Yemfan say Ashanti region? Northern region. Okay, members 1 million. Maybe some Prof, one more quick question. Kasa a year sa ohono kasa no. I didn't think no compulsory. I best subject, whether examinable or not. I don't know. Mona mo a school for. And it say every school in Accra say enka. You be your teachers wa. Enka every secondary school ewa Accra at least entering crime kasa. if it's for 2 years or for 3 years, whatever. And children can kasa. Every secondary school in Ashanti in Tree, every school in Votanche ever, Gurushi, whatever, in Zama, as a crime be so at least a bit me ma say o de brofo kra na e no main eyina osua kasa as a subject to say ukobebe to say France na ukusua de oha and eastern countries some mo call eastern Europe universities those days no ubesua Russian kasa e bia 6 months and now 1 year ansana waba besua can't we think through something like that?
I mean, honestly, maybe I'm late in this, but when I was in school, me I can't compulsory. Me if I'm here JHS, me I can. Me call secondary school, me I can. I can.
Okay.
Me nim say be
I don't think me need say compulsory. Because of share results everybody me who any Ghanaian language room.
Because me last 3 I'm over school no. I'm here Ghanaian language. They selected the option of Akan. And me call school the last time me who say na enkura kakra nso esua ga. What I don't know they say ebia ya in a compulsory and I say enkura not to me select say me ga and na me twi or any other language. But it will be surprising say ye free character say enye call.
Menya sure say call.
That's quite interesting.
Minister, language be a call.
And I'm late.
Local language be a compulsory.
At what level?
From
Primary
0 to
Primary dear, one year Ghanaian language.
compulsorily. So how don't you mean choose here anyway?
They don't mean choose here. But the challenge no community no need parents no need education system no want to say. Again, I'm speaking as a teacher. Ghana, yeah, so cosmopolitan. Near what test case be war at Timpoku. So Jaman.
Yeah.
And
they say ben profo.
At Timpoku yes so Jaman. Okay, Kwapnchi and Akagwan. And the Ghanaian language. Na a year. Kwapnchi. But if you select the public schools in Atimpoku, class bia na over 60% here always.
Interesting.
And to us one yet educate director who create problem. I forgot he was a gun. I forgot his name. And now always ni say as I say every and not say the policy is the language of the area. Atimpoku could be 90% areas. Atimpoku is the issue where is in a area, so they should do Akan.
But then that is tricky.
Quite tricky.
Because the others are the majority.
Yes.
Are you going to force a language on them?
Good. In the same when we come to Accra, Greater Accra region,
Majority are non-Gans.
Are non-Gans. So Ghana watch channel on if you be and Kagan. It's a problem, no. Yeah. The landlords of Ghana and education for be fight say. Adena Kasa wan kapa. I hope I've got right. Gashipon Gamenoni.
Gashipon Gamenoni.
It is say enkranfo asase enkranfo dia na mo baye mu school wo asase so dia it is some hwese school bia ye be kire ye kasa no
na you teacher for krom be kire
anu na kam be ba ho no ye yan kasa ye mo na won ye gas no ye no won yanka gan wo fie nti okọ training college okọ SS1 ye gan eti gan teachers no kura wonnya bi in the zone where there's a school in Abru a predi now we see you develop Gwan to offer Gwan Chadia.
Oh here.
And the issue no so called SH now say elective nti but franning ya. Man you know ya but no all start here for instance in a Kosomo because via regumenti kase baby ho.
Yeah.
Nti Kosomo de na ye ekwafum twi
Okay.
Because it's in Akwemu. And I hear Gan. Got a lot of guns there. And I hear Dangwe. Because yeah, just send community now were
because that's it was like a melting pot. Obia Obi.
And you know, now we have Ghana language 3. My name's still like Gusuya, but we had 3 Ghana languages. Now yo. Now no crano. Uben we say like the headmaster, Monsieur Cock there. Good morning. They will say, Madam, I don't even understand the tree because I'm from Upper East. My husband does not. So in my house, we don't speak tree. But my children compared to do, I can. And to also be SS, you know. I already aggregate now the first choice, you know. And I'm going to know E over 8. And to see a casa on your BBA 1. Now casa will far school where the 9 ones in the fire. That's a second language, you know.
A bonnet form.
I'm a boss out of front of form. Again, others had an advantage, like my son. Or say, my woman, on ni teacher, I said, my country, or say, my teacher said, no, don't speak vernacular.
Hey.
If I do JHS, no, say, not down for be a debut channel, not for in teaching. But no, to obey why you treat, because it's only Ghana go debate with the channel. If anything, my country.
Foolish boy, if you know who you answer.
Foolish boy.
If you know who you answer.
Me mama no dear, me no one me catch him who said, "See, me born in your community. Yen did ya tell me make up of because me papa fra or dear tell me ya. Ne mom se me your community yen did ya tell me dear. Me mano a beka tree. Now me my girls too no no tree no. They are so good in languages. Me second one or English and French and Spanish. I will legon. 50 class 1. Switch the languages. Set one because me see language the me jump me teacher for not chere. Me match tree.
Interesting, sir. Parents be sending me baby. Or say it's not as easy as you say it. For instance, I speak tree with my kids. Until if you tree near cat say I could some teacher ya headmaster and then you ask marking. Or say, Kwame, if they are taught Ga because they are in Accra, how will they pick up when they come home? So my kids' school, they have a choice and they choose tree. I, as a parent, I studied Ga and I did terrible. In 2 4 soon the balance one conclusion and cry no befia and cry homework and wine a bearman. For example. And I'll say, even with tree, they teach them Asante tree. I am a Kwapim, so I struggle a bit with that one. As I'm not better as how.
Debut.
But Kwame, I am better, but it doesn't mean it cannot work. Oh, the air can you know, the here say, said the resources in science and I can say maths education. My thinking is that, as I say, you should that a discussion on mother tongue because so what is our language? What is our culture? Now, a ground. I mean, hey, your man, I want to take a kasa. Who can kasa now? He said, so what say what the okasa echira kwano ufia. Na sa kasa na ya kwana ipre oko school a. The teacher say, "Ye nka vernacular ha." Obia. Me ma boy no say get more oko school. Kwa me start na say, "Oh, katwi no." Obi say, "What I say akoko." Chan say, "Hey, what is akoko?" Say chicken. And your buy and also my teacher say I shouldn't say akoko again.
Prof.
And you know, the point is, me run about this. The point is this. I think that this mother tongue issue, you should have a discussion on it.
Person me boy of discussion if me jama mukaka. Me yen hwehwemu bia ya kasa nyina yen. Ghana kasa me say your problem na so. I me say a small spiritual problem.
Come and say I don't know. Come and say I don't think of you.
Prof,
come and say I don't know.
Only me ntia. Only me.
Come here.
Prof, ma mention ntia make us.
Come catch him.
Empacho tin asupan mampa mu nyina. Me be kan brofo. Me ko ya hwehwemu bi me ka say nyina.
Okay.
Makopie, the Bureau of Ghana Languages. Okay. Mpachotie. The Bureau of Ghana Languages was established by the Vernacular Literature Board Ordinance number 27 of 1951. Cap 119. I know me say. With the passing of the 1958 Dissolution Act of the Vernacular Literature Board, the Bureau of Ghana Languages was converted to a department under the Ministry of Information. It was later transferred to the Ministry of Education in 1963. The Bureau of Ghana Languages, formerly the Vernacular Literature Bureau, has since the enactment of the National Commission on Culture Act 1990, PNDC Law 238, been a department under the National Commission on Culture. Now, the Bureau of Ghana Languages is a department under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture by dint of executive instrument that created the ministry in 2017. The Bureau of Ghana Languages exists to promote the preservation of Ghanaian languages and culture through the publication, certification, and usage of world-class systems, technology, and collaborations with local and international partners.
Technology free.
Enti brofo ne yatwe no bebre. Now to think say 1951.
It has been there.
It's been there. Ye movie Eco Ministry of Education in 63. And they say ye buy National Commission on Culture in 1990. And they say the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture in 2017. Into your bonus. Mapong. Fini will be America.
Grandpa, you see the language. Oh yeah, ada o define the ehwana o concepts o nyame o busua o culture o arts o yeah kase the onona or define yen as human being or distinguish yen so or the inchechemu bade or Ghana say lose language aye wo bibiara say into men kasa young boys and girls that work kasa or right or brofo say ibisa amanje na mamre nyamana also one task enti ahu there the man that way you were fee ada oma wo ye Ghana ni another ada oye or identify enti say you was school na say ko school nya na say o ka say na aze no emfa nye adwuma or destroy sometimes who patriotism even to the nation because who identity no are connected to an external nation, external country, external people as opposed to one kasa wedi. And he say when there obi awie school na so pede ofi kro no ma. Ya educate ye man there want to fit into one kasa what society. Because now no ati wo brofum. Obotuma ye juma obebia wo wiade. Inti ne patriotism, ne sense of obligation there obetna omem na wa boa na wa develop ni nyina na. Grandpa inti na edin to o ka say na you know o so critical grandpapa. Because Amy was from Nanofuri. Oye me papa na mame neja. Inti mi hu me na me friend me ba. There's a sense of belonging be, a sense of connection be. Inti say your education system yeah me make European na other people educational system. That is why as a nation, no Ghana, baby, because we have not had the time to build the systems.
At all.
But we must, of necessity, there, build the systems. Grandpa, yentimi nye school so Afraba at its developmental stage, 11, 12, 13. The whole life can be defined by instruction. Grandpa, can you imagine that at the age of 11, 12, 13, Grandpa, minty be that. Me a lucky there, me basic school in the US. Me fi class 6, echo JHS, in social be annual. Me fi JHS, me ko SHS, in social be annual. The only time I was saying was when you are moving from high school to the universities. And I control SATs na onyama. Grandpapa, education is not there to wipe out people. Even a prof, okay. When me was JHS, you know, Grandpa, now I was not be a distraction. There, I was there. I mean, I make cracky jokes.
Well, you still are.
Even me at the bottom. I was part of the bottom.
You still are a major distraction.
But Grandpa, me do high school. Maybe quickly or my dream that why? Grandpa, me a valedictorian.
You see?
Wow, nice.
Of my high school.
You pick up.
And see, you can't enter Ghana. And it's come more Ghana. Grandpa, come life here over at JHS.
Yeah.
Some course school or Ghana.
Because when until
because I was not that I didn't know, but I was playfulness. Now I was trying to fit in an African man in a at that time. No crap, not made to my identity. I was trying to assimilate so hard into jokes. Now you are playful. Now Grandpa, me do high school and maybe clicking that. Yo, are you mad? Yeah, my senior brother, Papa, God bless him. They departed. Okay, I'm there. I know for now.
Yeah, brother, man.
Why? Also, I'm embarrassing him. Papa said, you are embarrassing me.
Oh.
Me call 9th grade. Any teachers now? No, 11th grade. Any teachers will say, but your brother is not like you. I didn't shima. Then I just sat down. I said, this thing.
What is
It's
this?
me when I'm learning. I talk to the book.
Okay.
I'll master you. I'll master you. Then I start to learn.
Man, I mean, who baby a damn niche.
Grandpa,
It's in your DNA.
I graduated the top of my class.
You see?
Ghana education system at JHS and social and water trade. There are so many children who have been destroyed. They are cultural and social. Besia ebia we reach ni menses ni puberty within the time of cultural and social. They change hormonic change. The psychological changes. She didn't do well on social. Doesn't mean that she's not intelligent. A young man wants to play. Why must it? Look, even the US, you don't pick your major in the university till the 10th year of the university. Because one of all the basics to allow you to have the opportunity to start choosing, think through my EP. Now I choose.
We develop area until they have the luxury of that.
No, yeah, it's Grandpapa, we have a problem. And we see we have the European colonized mindset. Every Europeans no question. All we were interested in was moving into their bungalow. Also having a driver. Wearing a 3-piece suit in this heat, woolen suit to make it work. And that's all we were interested in. But we were not interested in a transformation or reconnecting ourselves to your identity. And then using that.
Is it too late?
Grandpa, it's not. How can it be too late? So long as we are alive, we are human beings.
My main can one message be a my hold for a while just to align with Minister earlier thoughts and Prof Nawala. So, also, Chairman General, I wonder if you're old enough to see the Catholic Church holding church sermons in Latin, just as the Muslims do in Arabic, until the advent of Bishop Sapong, who realized that the Catholic Church was losing a congregation to the charismatics, and quickly changed from Latin to Chi. The importance of local language is so crucial that the colonizers decided to translate only the Bible into local languages. Remember, they never translated textbooks into local language. The question is, why the Bible? Why not textbooks?
Only another show on yourself.
My answer is simply miseducation.
Okay.
So you see, the missionaries and colonizers know how important and crucial the mother tongue is to human development, but they denied us food for thought.
Grandpa, they will deny you because not just education. Grandpa, this thing.
Professor Kofi Ejekum. You're very short to cry.
Grandpa, catch your name. I'm sorry.
Only no ajro. Osi oyiwa. Momo ni adwuma. Openyin machi baby I will be a chiano pay.
Deep power.
What you want to do you well?
But grandpapa.
Yes.
Grandpa, mommy just song. You be na men catch story bincho.
Me too. Me and my communist and let's wrap up now. Maybe at the end of it, no badwa. Anyway,
me late. Grandpapa, me late. Ebusha Penny. Dr. Georgia also said, Ofi village we are. Na kokere ba Ofi village we are friend Patakro. Patakro no so was sub yibia. Then na nanom te offer Oh, can you imagine? Ya kasa ba say be ose krum. Patakro Papai me did not call Nigeria, grandpa. Ne oyare in the late years. This last year, me did not call Nigeria. Not you oyara or what's the one who cancerous tumor. But the whole Ghana, Hanum, Ghana, you will machine be offering a CAT scan, you CAT scan or Ghana. It's me the Papai call Nigeria, and I call CAT scan. And you baby, you know, spread the icon. Now, what no call hospital, me the phone. Me busha penny Dr. Joe use me the phone. Now I'm say doctor. Now then EVA what doctor degree it's na a dancing me mo honum na anqua bridge like all of your colleagues. Also one or the scholarship or the cool school a dancing man scholarship. Into our obligation to those people now. Waboya Otomoko School. Inti ni hospital see Waboase St. Jude Hospital. See because of what the people there where your man also feel that he owes a service back to them. Only number one. Number two, na if you nyakra masenka ofifia and can you rebe fee a bushiano na bushiafo. Inti onu vie school no. Nature Bamona no want to go school no. Now when you sing one new classmates by 4 years because they couldn't afford them. I'm not sure when you wow. Because of this. And Dr. Ya who so see do mebusha pen. Say ya or catch them. Make that form make the form. In this age, me age yeah. This no for me to meet the phone or maybe shopping in the chain. I know catch me there, Nana. Mona more mobile. More mobile. Mamma rain fee machi. Na me, yeah, no more papa mono man humbi. Mono man humbi. Na yen yet mean nantefi. Akwochere by railroad track na call Boise. Eko mamu remfi. Na mu nyina ese mo boa. Na ebusuane timi kwanani. Enti saa time na Dr. Joya who say do ni nua no be 5. Omo break it through. True education. Enti me nyi no na ye be 17 ofio enu so bia ye menua na menim say bia we papa ba me ma me ba na say me wo fa we ba we are all the same ye di nyi nti ye ka asema ye kan about education ne language ne adeɛ ɛma me kai Dr. George Wusu Asiedu ɛne ne yere so yɛ the first woman of the Anglican Church Reverend Mrs. Lovia Owusu Asiedu na grandpapa me ka deɛ si so sɛ or renew my dedication to my nation and my people. Doctor Odi is 76 and no call blind. And to make us say no you're blind. Now tears are running down my face or cancer as me actually. I'm a down.
Anyway.
And I'm saying no. Dear Dr. Georgia Wusu Asiedu Akin. I'm a papa mo Akin. Come up, I think it's a language and education. Education, yeah, the only way out.
And using our local language is the best option.
It's a great
Minister, maybe so we quickly now me around.
Me bush champagne me kwesi no weekend.
Ya me funny crazy.
Oh yeah, this Friday, Saturday war akoche.
Ya me funny crazy.
Dr. George,
and Dr. George says, oh. You feel you buy a cancer now spread it to 5 parts of his body. But Ghana, we couldn't detect it. Oh no, you're medical doctor. Your issues,
many more
for another time.
Yes, maybe let me just cut through. Minister, obviously, as a private and public schools write the same exams, but it looks like favoritism is given the public schools in terms of admissions. Because while those in public schools get their first choices, we sometimes aggregate 16, those in private schools can't get their first choice, sometimes with aggregate 8. Is there a deliberate policy to help those in public schools? Minister.
John General.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a policy.
There is a policy?
Yes.
Policy
didn't say. Oh, see, yeah. Grade 2 assessment in Messidian. Public school for no. Teacher pan area of Brofo. One passing year passing. Sorry, private school from passing year passing public school. There is this perception na ayeno krenso. Say, one guy won't feed baby a huchere wo. No one what your how bebre when are sitting in mono. One take public school. Once one with a lot of resilience. If you say anopano or kotu ball guaba, akonsuo, akofa enyina and san wako school.
Ain't you watch a die in the salmon?
Auntie your some affirmative action for public school for. If you say we say which there's a public school near or day 20 beko SS1. After first term no semester, they do very well. Because sa konsuo kobola ko enya ni nyina afi ho enti both the resilience no onya start sua de pa they get it right. The private schools on the other hand, most of them are spoon fed. If I cho say word na too harsh mo mfa ncheme just any fie na mu no iye bibia ma no okọ school so a bibia sisi so enti with all the enhanced environment no say unya 20 now public school ni nya 22 a if I say public school ni no e was stressing a lot of research akom and a deliberate policy.
Okay.
And also na nam so ma so because public school no nya grade 16 but when Wesley girls akọ
Oko public schooler.
If you say him say
but that's discriminatory.
It is not discriminatory. Say you assessing kwala communities no any backgrounds ni nyina say esan say private school for no send the assessment na approve the brofo kire won ade enti no won say what the brofo kire abofra de so picking the language now social studies is still doing more English science still doing more English mathematics still doing more English enti no ada won le mu dada near all this is akoko ya say akola go say akoko school be say no vernacular na rakame woni mu a just what no na akola baako ohwa ye gunu say please teacher our peace teacher this about the oh you na professor 10 and me
And me, oh.
Please, teacher, I will peace. Teacher is 3 hours, you be say. And no,
and me for just almost broken fat.
I'm fat. And me for no.
Say,
or dear me now, Bomodinia grade 20 and 16. Now, wouldn't him say. In terms of resilience and the brain capacity, no, or what's true.
But oh yes, so I now have private school for
again. Is yeah, how come into my standard 2 for and sat in Mra. You agree with me? Yeah, I was a BB. I could standard 4, send a beko, and then you come out with a more enhanced policy. But standard 2 no, and make it clear say. And call out one public school for it. Say you more brought for ma. I fear no, and you made ding. So one day one your school feeding. I to assume you had to have fear, Madame Pacho, with the school feeding is a gardener and one quack, far from Mount and Colani Miss School. That is the people we're talking about.
That's the reality of our Ghana.
That's the reality.
Yeah, Ghana, yeah, Timmy.
Public school for no. Rockman, what do you call Lanquantanai? And now Quayalo. And see it for yourself.
Really?
I just said, well, one ya public school be a na head teacher be a war or you're highly gifted and committed. What to me, I done that the school na a general so. And the crown here, a study be corporate body be no see Obama and collect school when you know school bag. And I had teacher and buy no say, why are dear power? Now somebody say, school bag the book no, why are dear? But we call over 50% of class here. And the power got Tom idea this kind come on, mammy will fear and somewhere by school. And to school bag net to motivating and him be a sir.
Debbie.
If you know what they say, what will be so mamma no more won't kitua. I say, we'll cut on newspapers, we'll cut on both fruit and son of a school. To be school one our brother that. And to honor to be from one winner grade 24. Oh dear, for no call school be our boarding. Now you so call him but for the tone him.
No to be shared.
All the good him. Don't you see? Rock up your cry, not just say, just in a fear, me na fear your hojo, sir. And papa, village level, no was true. Come on. I call public school near call secondary school first term, no become secondary. A private for you. Bro, for any French. Hey,
Yes, you.
giddy. But after one term, no, now why you fall over?
Because I feel resilience nature.
Just on
Headmaster, chum down so can say, yeah, public school ye, uncle, on Gia. Etino, Nina, woman, like I say, so be called public school. The resilience, no so
very much.
na tension no say the man no low but said near parent to me for the private schools akese school fees akese e man ko je say fie eye boko kakra enti no anka owo bibi eso di so de nyamo wo de hwa branch ya okwa adesu ya nyame adom president identify na
yes or US ana
UK
okay
onu say oh UK no the first academic year bibia he's excellent
yes so twitwa ho ba heart
because he said the resilience no free such as a crown no kwanyina ba and 95 kilometers and tinina my who say all the privileges they want to be in Chadia and then the only privilege bia no
our born home modern kakran you say piano
and yes answer what this policy and ma kwa my the one call percentage be call schools will be a parko they say be a o call eme kukurantumi na wunya aggregate 16 now for Wesley girls you may get it chance of getting it about 95%.
Really?
Yes. A where ya dish a leverage system ne kakro nyesa na chese ne wo de wo ma mi fi fa otuba wi ata na sa bi wo ma mi fi achem hima mi kuro mpa achem hima wo mi fi achem hima enti
wenya ba bi anko
enti no na chese wo ye good kura wo ntumi nya ba bi a competition wona fa hu nwuram bi enti ene de policy
Mate talking about language opanyin bi pa we memu ha asem ntime ni din afrim Also, Kwame, as a child in class 3, I transferred from Kumasi to Accra with neither of my parents being Ga. My classmates were taught in Ga. I can't tell you my struggles to adjust and learn Ga in order to follow what was going on in class.
Fabre, we've made life.
And Fabre, Obi of you Kumasi, I didn't now for a chaba transfer on Craig. Now, because of the language, Asama Yaka about Obano fi also fi Nyoko Yuke no. Adeso. Obi etwa oni info ni abrem sisia. I said this is the boy the minister is talking about. Brilliant boy. Wunia Medase. Thank you for that photo up that you just sent me. I say, what's it, please teacher, I want to piss.
I say, please teacher, I will piss.
I will piss.
I want to.
Imagine so.
The best 10.
And me. Obi say, Ojitum, or say they are not that but they would have said, please teacher, I want to wee wee. Hey, you square same. Now, Obiso say, Kwame, is not easy. The children of today are different. I speak Tree with my children, and they respond in English. My girl doesn't speak Tree, but can write Tree in school and gets 98%.
On country, no
And yes, Obiso Simbisa said, how can a child get 9 once and cannot get her first choice? Let me see the school. Aha. So your child went to private school. Private school. English language 1, social studies 1, religious and moral education 1, maths 1, integrated science 1, info and comtech 1, French 1, equipmentry 1, BDT pretech 1. Abofreyabing. Me money ding mum. But when you first choice.
First choice na when you know.
But can you tell my more secondary school? We automatically go.
Oh, first choice na when you know.
You and workers.
No. First choice na when you know. I never bebre. Oh, say, one school I was selected because the schools be over. Apart from 5%, I just said that the 2 of them call our public schools, and I won't feel remote areas. We are no flu. School no certainly because the school never very competitive in Tino. And then 9 ones they select you. And just so they select you, one key into the computer no. 9 ones they select you. And tell you a school never for 340. By 9 ones na person acquire science was our school ni no. One yeah, let's say 600. And see one be use the core subject no. And they are separate. And see, core subject, so one in one, see, and your course subject. First of all, you should raw
score.
Near the year 9 ones, be a good chain, maybe a car 550.
Hey, now how comes the 9 ones to be good chain? Because Minister Obi just to buttress not what was so. Also, some policy some 30% policy for public schools. Until you end up getting private school for no. Some will withdraw their children to go to public schools, write exams, get aggregate 9, and then get their first choice. And at that point, you know,
when you get to the river, we shall cross.
We are the river. Let's cross it. Yes.
And see, near you say, you sue Ross Cornu, we are. You can create for me. Ya sound so befa maths, English and science. Roscoe. And also to me be a film. Because also be when you one the but one your lower borderline. And for says 1 no 75.
Okay, adults are calling in the Thomas Amweni or Brunel University. Okay. Minister to us. Sorry, say me catch it through, but now can say nyana mso hwehwe no.
No nyina systems a ewo ho. Enti no, obi ho se nyina nya 9 once ada na manya is the raw scores and the scores you had one raw score, two the scores you had in maths, English, science, and also I separated the boys from the men and then the girls from the women. And say no nyina ana a design name no eba no. Na brokwa man sana me end no. Ye reyi ka say ne busua penin church ne name bi.
Me gina busua penin so me basisi a NPP mrahye bedwani a ogina ho ma achim da ye ka school asem no. Ne de na e mobo.
O se den.
Agwa.
Yes, Chairman General.
Marching.
Kwame Jusu.
Boko there.
Onyame adomia ho ye.
Na agwesi wo ha ne say.
Oh, me how to say nano me try question be at the Minister for Sanitation.
Minister for Sanitation.
Aha, na question they say e na ministry no ye na ya hwe na school a any sabe ejana bia hodo no obehwe na wetimi amaye atoye isasen kwala no ye hwe na ya chiro ma humdie
school meba school ni ejana bia
I mean atimda your school ni bia ejana bia ni ho enti no na saying ono mono the kokati sword bi once me no 5th April 2 years ago see pass school down hodo so enti me call corporate Ghana ejumafo awuno obi ono mo ye memboa enti no ye kwai ko kate sword no na media fo no hu se enkola ni bi ekwekwa ba no mo ne ade bi ewo ho me abmo me yam shebe na tese ejana bi ewo ho no enya papa enti no nkola no eyusu kraba teacher for no and boa wo mo ne ade so he was captured enti na say me go bisa minister question no and media for no no attach yes. But I also told the minister, asked the minister that there are some new get fund schools yes here a janabia in sabe na media making do na ye data but for na get funds in be so a janabia in which is a major source of concern sabe about no MP when I have so far common park akran be janabia ma enkwala no ntino ahom
akwasi yes school na wie
yes school na wie
but janabia nim
Debbie.
Akwesi by Yabeka say chire. Now also one file agent question of parliament.
Oh, I last Thursday in the minister.
Ain't you see dino? Near see say ye the
Bijili say bia any fast war until you actually.
Oh, Akwesi Jani Akan. Na Akwesi adan we see we see down Akwesi chire Yabeka say. But remember YouTube you be there because it doesn't make sense to me. Bye bye.
Chairman General.
You see school dying.
It is heartwarming to say that from last academic year.
Yes.
Contract be a ma for school then be a washrooms come.
But how can you even decide to be see dying on the school fire? How?
Just say from last academic year. Basic school be a see ye be a
Minister, here last academic year. How about the ones before?
Once before, I can't speak to that.
But you know about this thing, say school, AC school, Janabian.
But me say from last academic year.
Oh, Minister, you're tear no.
Send current one I may catch you.
Me come before current.
I will say school no, and yet I think the error was not new school. I will say Kokrokoo MA primary. On school die basa nti ekosi school. Now you requesting for school die. On the blind side, we may think say a school harder than no
facilities in your. But you see,
we made a lot of arguments. Like those of us who are MPs and we live in our constituencies as well. No, yeah, you know, yeah, boy contribute to say schools ni bebre ho aye sinua. Toilet facilities a bit ni ho. Maybe okra be the community ho.
Okay, I understand that also. Community ho nyina bia kwa na ejana bia ni ho just a public na say omutonwuram.
But you're making maximum effort. I say over years, you know, they build some KVIPs and also issues of their own.
Ghana have problems.
So for now, in order to get a more better, you know, yes, see school down and near day.
Ejanabia no.
Ejanabia na ye KVIP na esi ya ye boho account, mechanized boho account, so that at least in terms of sanitation no, ya solve issues in na kwankwan bi okra. But she at 10 o'clock no so back say ko free nsu aba na ye de esi ho ne dia hoyensa. And for now there the new dimension in our transformation ho. Now we have the washrooms,
Minister,
the other
and Nana for you.
There's one thing
Reverend Dr. Kofi Entry, Akoyen Shibumbi Bremi Sisia. Reverend Dr. Kofi Entry, Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Na Emamire Humo.
Oh, Kwame.
Prof.
What's it then?
Or the woman be a Bremi. Yes, she Kasemu Akuntabu Chre.
Yes, Akrofik
or say she Kasemu Akuntabu Chre. Instruction in arithmetic for the schools on the Gold Coast in which the Tree language is taught by Reverend Bellon, principal of the middle school at Kokrokoo. Price 10 pence. Printed for the Evangelical Missionary Society. Na unim emra omo yes abuki 1872.
They did it.
I'll say Kwame, by 1878 there were books for people to study mathematics in Chi and Ga. This was done by the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. The question I'd like for all of us to answer: where did we go wrong?
Colonialization.
Yeah, pentama ko tram bangalo no. Na ape ye chasha, na ape cart no. Enti kwame ye omo mbrofo no free ha ko no. We did not re-identify who we were. Enti we wanted to rule. But me say said ye na ye hunu o mabara ba na ye fe. Enti ya why ho. Oh, and if you lose your identity, why should it be bia? Because only media. But Kwame, two things be why I was saying.
And Pajanam Minister say okabi bi kitwe bi answer two things. Na ya pon. Minister we na me prof so na me na we.
Near America say education there is ongoing. And the same way as educational infrastructure and so is ongoing. It is a issues in the bar. Na ya factor into a development. So na make say from last academic year no. Basic school bia e basic bia no washroom aye modern eka ho. Na amra meka asem a ye nua be me eka ho asem se na busua pani ka kire ne se efi ho no on door so nti wan hwehwe obia no eno ne ye say elito say colonial master so said me myself my wife and my children, me myself my husband and our children, and inti no ye ja ebusua ato ho na ne yakura ne say now the can traditions have become poorer because ye me man no ye de ebusua sika hwe won no won ye nwrafo warrior no me my wife my children and inti ama support bia enko for the extended family me ye oba amako school but ehia se nya be bu abusua eno ama obia ye bayifo eninti no mofra no kro ya wo no ye ni relative bia obeyi ni yam say me mehwa bofra no to so obedi 2 years and so na ko school until 3 months udi maternity leave we na oba ni ko school and more development and also more language, you know, because say wow and now mommy and now auntie and now mother-in-law abasha obana akola ni wo fie nyina ne odi ni katwi o kire no ne ye ne ye nye ye kasa mu ne ye di cousin o ma me nua ba ye onua o wa pa nua ba ye unua o wa pa nua kuma aye o papa kuma o papa nua pani ye papa pani o ma me nua kitwa ye o ma me kuma, so that sense of belongingness na ye culture no na wo ho enti so bi ma me ne papa wu a on nanti mma ne mpi wo se me ni obi obehwem tituam school fees ma me ana se me yekunafo nti me ni boafo and nti yes etu ye bo putting the language aside no ehu han na ye e de be na wo ye culture mu ana eboa yen chema general issues about widowhood yanti ase na ya abuse ye se me ne bi ku nyina na te I say me ko kukrentu mi aba and when accident na wawu. Me kunu aba ne me betina for 6 weeks. Do you know why? Ebia the night before my husband travel we had an affair. Enti me nyima me nim me kun hu ye. Nobody 6 weeks in it dear. Me kuma ne nim say. Oni me na nam oni me na danti obi e ma me nchen. Ti me beka say eh me nyimo na me nimu a no question. Anya say onjiwu ni no question no dispute. Again also babuama say wona more devastated that you may not think say I should end up my life.
Yes, Minister. We've got to go.
Channel a language, you know. You should understand na near what enye no. Yet tiasie na yen film. But dodo na ye except that we did not understand.
Medasa Minister, this one says, as an old boy of Presec Legon, I'm amazed that some 9-1 students do not make it to Presec. They are gradually making it difficult for private school students to get their first choice grade A schools, hiding behind raw scores policy. All they want to say is government school students make it to grade A schools under free SHS. That's all. Under our old cherish system, how can you miss your first choice with 9-1 to aggregate 6? You are worship for clocking 9. What's going on? Akwesi, well, I leave it there. We'll come back to you later. Prof, any other comments? Yapon?
Oh, tia. Yeah, can say.
Chairman, but your vetting, you beko.
Mobile vetting. But NBC for say, yes, ever bomb crofon in Egu.
Vetting, what is your bad day?
I'm say bomb crofon in Egu. Some say I'm rejecting other nominees.
I'm interested.
Yes, bro.
No, me Professor Bakonso. No, I can say. I can say, for example, scholarship here, they might bantia or they call Brunel.
Brunel, yes.
Yet me from man say, Unsia de
Well,
Because you are sending the signal.
it's a good question.
Yet me, ma, so can it be encore?
But yeah, the man and I say, Omono the man.
Yeah, the man.
I am an uncle school.
If you can only any continue. And but I'm aware say get from but I think say the point is making is say it's a say to strengthen our systems. Emma obi there na episode school. Let's also anyway. Na Emma
yes, $1.
Yes, sorry the comment.
It's a pound.
And $1. But come the air can me the na ya adwene pa you say some primary to GHS idea social.
Martin.
Near man crano in ya seamless access. And wow, obi na na ya on school.
Streetism.
Or do secondary school or be call university. E bet me a social call.
Nana for Yapon.
The Asuna Ebushia of Akokere, Owuswa Siegu, Boache and allied families of Akokere and Obuase, Bright Ebu and allied families of New Edubiase, Sese and Atakra families of Achem Oda, respectfully invite you to the final funeral rites.
We've come a long way, haven't we? Walk by jacket. Minister Nipone. Kofi Kumbelson is next. The news is at 12. AJ, good morning. Nice to know you are there. Ears, voice, text and eyes. One love always. May your day be blessed. Love to Denta Mwating wherever she is. Remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive is all you have. Tough world, but still we rise. And as always, when you stop to say a prayer, say one for me too. God bless. Good morning.